So, it's been a while. I know it's been a while. I got incredibly busy. I started a teaching job and I still tried to keep on going with videos, and it didn't happen because I was with fourth graders and fourth graders take up a lot of attention. And then I started 2021 and I was like, yes, I'm gonna make more videos. I'm gonna do the things I want to do and it's gonna be great. And then I started a kindergarten teaching job. So here we are. I'm actually pretty exhausted. I'm energetic somewhat for today, but I'm still pretty exhausted. My plan for this video is to talk about my goals for 2021. And I know it's February. I know. But I'm trying, okay? I think it's the fact that I'm trying that makes it okay, right? Anyways, so back in the winter of December, I think, I had started going going down this route of becoming a teacher. And my goal is to become a high school English teacher. And so the first two books I bought was this book and this book, which I bought for the English Language Arts Content and Analysis Praxis 539 exam. I had to read that. I don't have it memorized. But I have read this whole entire thing. I've read this whole entire thing. And my test is next week. It's on Saturday, to be exact. So, to be honest, starting to read this was like the first one I read. It has this page where it has a whole bunch of classic literature, and it has like Edgar Allan Poe, The Raven, in the Romantic period. It has Transcendentalism, Ralph Waldo Emerson, Self-Reliance, and the American Scholar. Like, it has all of these classic literature. And when I was looking through some of the test questions, I realized I didn't even know some basic concepts from 1984. So I decided that 2021 would be the year of classic literature. I decided that I was going to read only classic literature for all of 2021, and my goal is to read at least 20 books. 20 books, I know it doesn't seem a lot, but I haven't read a book in like I've read non-fiction books, but a fiction book, I haven't read any since beginning of college, so like 5 years ago. Do you see how like saddening that is? So, last year I decided to pick up this wonderful book called Utopia. And to be honest, yes, I decided I wanted to read Utopia because of Ever After. If you haven't seen the movie Ever After, it's amazing. It's on Disney Plus, so you can definitely go see it if you have Disney Plus. If not, rent it because it's amazing. But the main character, Danielle, who is the modern, or is the Cinderella, her dad gives her a copy of Utopia before he dies. And she ends up quoting Utopia in the movie. Like, I feel like some of her basic principles are on Utopia. So I was like, it's not like I get persuaded to read books based off of TV shows and movies. Yes, actually I do. And so I picked up a copy of Utopia from my college library and I purchased it. This is from college. And that was last year because I talked about college. So you know it's been a long time. I decided to read it, or at least start to read it, in the fall, I believe. This will be the first classic literature book that I will finish in 2021, is Utopia. And just to let you know, the next video that I'm going to do is going to be talking all about Utopia. So if you would like to watch that video, go ahead, click the link, and go watch that video, because Utopia was an interesting book. Let's be honest, Utopia was an interesting book. So we're just gonna leave it at that. The next book that I decided to read in 2021 was because I realized I didn't know anything about 1984, and a couple of the questions on the practice test that I took was about 1984. So the next copy I got was 1984. And I've actually been reading this with my sister. Her name is Fontabulous Design. You can go check her out. She is awesome. And we decided that we wanted to read this together because it was on both of our lists. So we created like a reading schedule. We've been reading it, and it's been very, very interesting. I do have to say that if I had read this in high school, I would have hated it. But reading it now, it's very interesting to me, especially since I've taken a class on propaganda in college. So this will be my next one that I finish in 2021. And I'm very, very close to finishing it. I'm 77% done. So we'll see about that. Because I was getting 1984, I also decided to get Animal Farm as well. It's not on my reading list for this year because I have read it, but I would like to reread it again at some point. I thought that Animal Farm was very interesting, and I think I would like to read it just as a short read. You know, it's not very long, but I think it would be very interesting to reread again, so I put that on my list as well. Going off of the communism route, it seems like a lot of the books that I've been buying has been communism related, which I didn't mean to do that. Let's just leave it at that. But another book that was on my classic literature list was Fahrenheit 451. I have heard so many good things about this book. I've heard that it is absolutely amazing. And so I decided to buy a copy of it and put it on my classic literature list of 2021. And I haven't started it yet, but I am so excited to read it. I feel like it's going to remind me a lot of Book Thief, which I absolutely loved and adored. I cried. There's actually a really funny story. I was in biology because when I was in high school, I didn't really listen much to classes. I mostly just read. And Book Thief was one of those books. So I was in the middle of biology, and I had my head stuck in Book Thief, and I got to the end, and I cried my eyes out. And I was in biology, so I didn't want anybody to know, so I was silently sobbing to myself about this ending. And this guy, he turns around, he's like, "Hey, Allie, what did you get on?" And he sees the fact that I'm bawling my eyes out, and he's like, "Never mind." And he turns back around, and I thought that was absolutely hilarious. So I'm really hoping that this is almost like Book Thief, but again, I'm going to be creating videos for every single one of these books, so you'll see what I think about it in the future. And then, I have glasses. I was supposed to get new glasses about a couple weeks ago, and when I wore them for the first time, they were they made my eyes sort of go cross-eyed. So I'm not wearing those because of that. But when I was picking up the glasses, I was browsing through the book aisle in Target, and I came across Dune, which is a classic, even though it was published in 2003. Am I right? Oh no, the copyright is 1965. Oh, the afterword is 2005. 1965. This was written in 1965, and it is a classic. And I really wanted to read it because, again, like the sticker says, it's coming out as a motion picture and it's featuring Zendaya, and so I wanted to read it. It is like 600 pages. As you can tell, it's thick, and I just really want to read it. My sister wants to read it after me, so it has to be the next on my list. So after I'm done reading Utopia in 1984, I will be reading Dune. Now, there are more classic pieces that I will be reading this year. I have decided that I am going to read The Picture of Dorian Gray. I'm reading The Invisible Man currently. I'm 27% of the way in. I just don't have a physical copy. I'm listening to it as an audiobook. I did buy a physical copy because I'm really enjoying the audiobook. And I also have The Japanese Lover, which is actually an Argentine book. The main character is from Argentina and she falls in love with a Japanese man. And this is during World War II when America decided that they were going to have concentration camps for Japanese people. And so the book is based around that, and I am really excited to be reading it. I'm hoping that it will be good. But those are just some of the books that I have on my list for 2021. This is my year of classics. And I am just really excited. I'm really excited to be reading classics. I've been hearing from a ton of people that they think I'm insane because I've decided to only read classics this year. That being said, I also am going to be taking small breaks to read fiction stories. Like there's this book called J.T. Marley that both my parents read and they absolutely loved. So as like a break and a breather, I'm going to be reading that. So it's not only the year of classics, but most of the books I want to read will be classics. For example, the giant books that I just talked about. Look at this pile. It's a crazy pile. And I'm just trying to grow it, to be honest. I really want to be a good teacher, and I really want to be a good high school teacher, and I really want to pass my test. So 2021, year of the classics, that is what I'm doing. Anyways, if you really liked this video, please click the thumbs up. Consider subscribing if you want to see more of this type of content. I will be talking about Utopia in my next video, so get ready for that. And I will be seeing you guys in that next video. Bye!